Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And today, it's this cool little 12-string rainbow bracelet that I thought I would try out. I basically, when we did the tube bracelets, there was string left over. So I thought, okay, we'll just kumi it up and I'll make a bracelet. I'll come up with something. And then coming out of having done the my own design based on the dress, I was like, wow, I kind of really like this notion of trying to cram three different patterns into a space. I wonder if I could do that in something as small as a 12 string. And I was like, okay, that's a challenge that I will enjoy. So I did. It starts out absolutely as simple as it gets. It starts out with a chevron. After that, it becomes more challenging, like a lot more challenging. In fact, I think you'll even catch in the video that I made a mistake. Um, you, in order to get the colors kind of where I wanted, there was a whole lot of zigzagging in a single row before going into this really tight arrowhead thing. And yeah, that was really tricky. Had to really kind of study the pattern, make sure I was doing things right. Once once you kind of see how it goes, not it's not that bad, but it's something to watch out for. And the purple is supposed to go a certain way, so the blue, how it interacts or whatever, that was the troublesome part there. After that, it kind of just goes into the arrowhead thing, which that was fine. I kind of still, check the pattern, make sure I got things going where it's supposed to be. And then it goes into like this whole other thing in the middle, which is sort of like the bigger arrowheads, but then it doesn't get much traction, so it just kind of repeats itself a bit, which which I had mentioned the fact that because that was all in the cold colors, that like when you look at it from afar, like you would see in my screen there, the whole center is darker than the parts that are just outside of it, which I think really, really works. Um, it was a fun bracelet to make. It took, I think it was 74, 75 minutes, something like that. So a little more than an hour. So it wasn't something that's going to be, well, I've done this for a while. It might take you a little longer. Don't feel bad if it does, but it's not overly crazy or anything. In fact, the bracelet that I plan on doing next is going to take much, much longer because it's more than double the strings. I know math is not my strongest suit. Three times? No, not quite. But yeah, a lot of string. So easier pattern with a challenge. This is it. Um, but yeah, it's fun. It's nice. It's different. And I like that. I like the fact that it's very, very different. I like the fact that somebody would have a hard time putting this into one of the websites because the websites need it to be able to loop, like chunk after chunk comes back. And this does not do that. This has a beginning, a very distinct beginning, a very distinct end. Everything in the center is mirrored right off of the center. They're my favorite kind of bracelets. I think when you do it like that, it shows that you knew what you were doing. And not that other bracelets don't, like there's obviously bracelets that just continue on, obviously take a lot of skill. But this shows that something had to be planned in advance in order to make it perfectly centered, make it perfectly come out. Mind you, way back in the day, I would not draw out patterns. I would do all this stuff in my head. I would get completely random, get to around the middle and be like, ooh, that's about, halfway and stuff. And then I would make a diamond and then I would try to do whatever random stuff was at the top. I would try to mimic it exactly going the other way. So I would end up with something balanced like this. But that's hard to teach. That's really, really hard to teach. So I thought showing you how to make a pattern and showing you how to find the center and how to build it so that way it goes outwards and makes all these changes, or coming down to the center, whichever. That by teaching that, you guys could have the same results with far fewer headaches. Seriously, there was a lot of times where it was really hard for me to know which direction the knot had to go because I couldn't remember how I did it at the top. And you have to do it just right in order to get the other strings to land where you need them. That it was a lot of work, and it made for learning a lot of things very, very quickly, because as I would discover, like, oh, that's making something wrong and have to undo some knots, or or maybe it goes a different way, I would see things that I had never imagined. And that really pushed a lot of new ideas, like, oh, that maybe not what I intended, but I could see how to use that in creating a whole different design, a different pattern, something fun. And so, yeah, it's still, if you're, I don't know. I just, it's an idea. Maybe try it. I think it works. Um, yeah, but it is what it is. All right, guys. Halfway through the video, this is going to end really abruptly here. I do want to thank my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members for making my videos possible. Without their support, I wouldn't have all the money for the string and stuff like that, because I really don't earn a lot doing this. So thank you guys very much. If you want to, you guys can become a member on YouTube. It's down next to the subscribe. It says join. And if you were joined, you could be watching me right now doing this on a live stream, because that's what's actually happening. And yeah, and then you would be able to see me afterwards, go and edit it and put it up on the web. And then you could see the overall video like now. Well, no, it'd be now for those people. This video is probably about a month from now when the rest of the public sees it. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. Patreon is way more generous with the earnings. Like, whatever your sub is, I get more of that than, say, what YouTube does, which is really nice. So if you're really just looking to help the channel, Patreon obviously is better. It's just that YouTube members has some better perks, just because the way that it works, the way that YouTube has everything kind of like incorporated in. So the choice is really yours. Either way works. Actually, just subscribing helps. So you could just, do that for free if you want, or leave a comment. That actually helps too. Also free. But yeah, anyways, back to the bracelet. So we're past the halfway point, right? At this point, it just somehow seemed a whole lot easier. If you kind of watching like how the knots are going in and that kind of thing, this side of it just, I don't know why. I seriously, I genuinely don't know why, but the second half of this whole bracelet was much, much easier. And yeah, it went along pretty quickly. And yeah, mind you, this whole making it was all done on a live stream as well. So if you wanted to see this being done in real time and you're curious, what I'm doing or whatever, you could do that. Actually, when I'm making the bracelets, you could actually chat with me, ask your questions, and I can answer it, because there's no audio involved. Like, I can't really answer like anything right this moment because this has got my voice and everything to it. But like the actual making stuff, yeah, I can chat with you guys all day. So yeah, just a thought in case you're curious or whatever. Um, I sped this up pretty quickly, not just to make it a shorter video, but because I kind of felt like there wasn't a whole lot for me to really be able to say about it. Um, because I mean, it had moments that were difficult, but overall, it's not overly difficult. I mean, yeah, there's just a couple points in there where it was a little bit dodgy, and then it just got easier. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot else I can tell you about it. It's there. I like the size of these kind of bracelets. I think it's it's not overly huge like some of the big cuff ones and stuff that I've made before. It's not too dainty either. It's a kind of a good size. So it's like my favorite number to go for is the 12 strings. Just personal thing. I'm curious though, what everybody else is into for a number of strings. Put that in the comments because if I find out that more people are doing something, I don't know what, maybe I make some more videos on patterns with that number to help you guys along, and maybe, you know, that could be cool too. I have no idea. But yeah, this is my favorite number, so I sincerely do want to hear what yours is. Yeah, so here's the orange has made its diamond, then the red will, and then it just goes back into the chevrons again, which was definitely really interesting. I'm not sure that the average person who like goes through the shop, or like if I had this on a display rack or whatever, if the average person would notice all the differences to it. You know, like I really think it's a bracelet maker who's going to see this and be like, "Oh, that's different." But I don't know if the average person would look at it and be like, I wonder what was going on there." I don't know. Just the thoughts that I have when it comes to bracelets. I've been doing this so long, you know. It's kind of neat to me, like how different people would perceive it differently. So yeah, here's the chevrons. By this point, super easy. Oh, and I like the colors. The colors are really a well-balanced rainbow. Sometimes I've done them where something seems a little bit off or different, but I really like the balance on this one a lot. So, yeah. Trying to see where we are. Okay, so it's the green. Da, 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 da. Yeah. I just know the end is coming. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this long, at least. I mean, seriously, that also helps the channel a lot when you watch the whole video. So thank you for that. And yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next bracelet. The next one is going to be a doozy. It's so big. It's 36 strings? 36. So if you want to see something really big and monstrous, yeah, get ready. That'll be the next one. So yeah, really excited about that. It's like how I can think about it right now. So funny. All right, so this is the red string. So this is coming to the end. So, okay, guys, thanks for watching, and don't get your strings in a bunch.